You ever stare at the screen and you hit refresh, 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 and you wonder why this is your business model? Well, it may be time to reboot. It's time for a new tool in the toolbox. Time to sign up with Dispatch Center and Truckify. This is part 2. You're going to want to buckle in. You know what? It's hard. It's hard for me to, again, I know there's always a driver out there who's like, stick it, Jay. You're not a driver. Well, I'll tell you what. I may not be a driver, but as a dispatcher, calling all these garbage loads right alongside you guys, yeah, man, it's painful. I can't stand it. That's why I had to make videos to stop dispatching. I literally was losing my mind.
Well, technology could help dispatchers today. So hopefully make it better.
Now that's an interesting concept. Things are finally starting to change. I had in the industry news, there was a comment about ACV. We know that ACV just had a big year. 2 years ago, they were on Central Dispatch, but people weren't talking about them like they are now. And actually, Auto Transport Intel, I think, plays a role in there as well. Not an entire, they're a big company, but I've introduced many carriers to ACV auctions.
I'm sure. I know. I've seen those shows.
Yeah.
They've done very well, and I think you've helped them.
Thank you. I think so too.
Yeah.
And then also there was a comment about Hawley from United Road. And that's interesting. I look forward to having United Road on the show to learn more about Hawley. I don't have it scheduled, but they're supposed to be on next year. So
ACV, Hawley, United Road, it could be Cars Arrive. All of the people that have loads available, we have technology APIs that will allow them to post their loads to Dispatch Center as well.
Yes.
There's no reason that ACV, Hawley, and all of them shouldn't be on Dispatch Center. And we have the tools and the staff that will help get those guys on. And they'll be on. If you are ACV or Hawley or Cars Arrive, with our technology, and especially Route Scout being such a strong product, that if those guys don't have their loads available to the carriers that are loading their truck and planning their routes with Route Scout and that technology, their loads are going to potentially get passed up. They won't be in the mix that drivers are using.
Check this out. I want to stay on top of the live chat questions if I can. Bogey Joe says this. ACV has all the control and it's up to the minute, which I'm sure they want to retain. It'd have to be super fast communication between ACV and Superflow. Is the pond that fast? I know the answer.
I say it is.
Yeah,
it is. You've seen it.
It's instant. Because it's as fast as a text. Just like if you text, right? If you send a text to a third party, that all that they need to do is click a box or hit send, and then it goes to the next place. That's it. That's why everything is so much faster. There are no more phone calls necessary, right?
You could do a lot. You can do almost everything without a phone call.
Yeah. We
have the message center. We have, so you can communicate straight to the driver and the driver straight to the broker. So the broker, as the broker decides how he wants to authorize carriers that are making requests for loads, he has control of that. So a broker can say, I'm going to allow everybody whose authority checks and they're not on my do not use list to self-book. This broker, Easy Auto, has this carrier authorized to self-book.
One of the problems on Central is that it's such a free-for-all. That's why there's so much lowballing. But if the broker knew you, the carrier, to be trusty, they wouldn't lowball you because they know that you could book it right now if they give you the right rate. They know your lane. They've got your info.
Exactly.
So
that's exactly right. There's and a lot of 90, probably some percent of the carriers that you deal with, you would self-dispatch to them if you could validate their authority was active at the time they're making the request, and you have them, they are not on your, as the broker, do not use list. So, and everybody has a do not use list. So if they're not on a do not use list and their authority is good, chances are you're going to dispatch to them anyway. Why not?
This is the thing. It drives me crazy. And you know why this drives me crazy? Because I didn't know this when I started. That brokers have Rolodexes of carriers they like. All brokers have Rolodexes of carriers they like. Yeah, Michael says it.
True.
Build relationships. And so if you don't get on these Rolodexes, yeah, you're digging through the trash.
So the other thing with the broker and that if he didn't want to give everybody who wasn't, for instance, in his Rolodex, the authority to self-book, he could say, I want to specifically list the people who are I'm going to allow to self-dispatch. So it's an option for the broker. So the people in his Rolodex, he can say, boom, self-dispatch. Go to the next one, boom, self-dispatch. So when his carriers log on, they can see these book now buttons as they are authorized to do that. So I can take the load at the amount that is posted for, or I can make an offer. And if I want to make an offer of 520, I can do that. And if that's the price that it needs, and then I can tell the broker what day I'm going to pick it up, what day am I going to deliver it, and who the driver is.
Dude, it's awesome.
Yeah, which driver, and I can send the request. In Route Scout, I've put in my driver. I've put in how many open spots I have. I'm starting from Columbus, Ohio to Miami, Florida, and I have my loads pasted in there. And I'm running the Route Scout process, and boom, it just gave me.
Insane.
So it came up with a load, seven vehicles that I could get $14,000 for. Problem is, some of them.
That mix is impossible. Travel trailer.
Yeah. Well, the travel trailer. So I'm going to remove that. Yeah. So if I remove it, it replaces it, and my revenue went down. But now let me see. Can I still take a Ford 750? No, I don't think I want to fit that one. So I'm going to remove that one, and it replaces it again. And see how Route Scout starts here where you asked it to start, and it gives you the pickup and tells you the order to pick it up. And then also, yes, I'm going to allow that. And then on the delivery, it will show you the order to deliver as well. The ACV, Hawley, United Road, cars arrive, drivers are going to use this. They're going to use this.
I agree.
And if your cars are not in this list that Route Scout just created and ran this process, your drivers are going to pass your vehicles up. You want your vehicles in the mix that these drivers can select.
Mark is going to punch it in.
Or we could do that DOT check right there. So it does. You see how it could be DOT or MC.
So I think, Michael, the answer is, and this is for brokers and for carriers. We all know that we are looking for a little bit more verification, authorization, a little bit of TSA check. You don't want all the bang hangs just showing up all over the place. Let's get some authorization verification. Hey, Gary shared his MC number. We got an MC. We got an MC number. Do I have a DOT number? I got an MC.
Go.
Number. All right, here's an MC number. Ready?
Okay. Yep.
012153. And thank you, guys. Thank you, Top Trending, Sir Transport,
Boom.
Guys, for saying hello. There's Gary. Bang.
He's authorized.
So
he's got authorized. His authority is authorized.
Gary is authorized. But what we're pointing out is nowhere in the last hour and a half have we said, hit refresh, hit refresh, hit refresh. That's not a business model.
That is not. So the thing is, this is as a broker right here. This is information as the broker. So this is a new order. It's a new order, and it is from Columbus, Ohio to Miami. Very, very similar to what we just ran. And so the broker here has some options. He can go to My Carrier Network, and My Carrier Network is everything that somebody has run that route before, it populates. And he can text message and email the carriers and the drivers. He has that option. And some of the drivers out there, I'm sure they've all seen an email or a text message from a broker that says, hey, we have a load. It matches the route that you've previously run. Here are the details. If you would like to book it, click the link, and it will go to the broker's account. And
is that like loadification, or is that separate? Loadification's on the driver.
It's a little loadification is the difference with this My Carrier Network is it matches everything that a broker has dispatched to somebody before, and that may or may not be the route that somebody's on today. So sometimes, like, a guy would get the email or the text message and he goes, no, I'm not on that route right now. Loadification is specifically the carrier, say, this is where I'm going to be, and you tell me every time a new load is posted. So when I post this, it will send a loadification notice to carriers that have signed up for loadification.
Man, you got so much software, man.
Yeah, I know. That's why we're full circle. We have what you need.
And, we have what you need. You have, and you know what's interesting is to be full circle. That's why, like, you hear people like tossing around. Yeah, we got end to end. We got full. It's so hard to be end to end. Like end to end. That's insane. It's so much stuff.
That is so much stuff.
Yeah, man.
I'll make this a little better for you.
So I'll tell you what. So show me this piece, and then we're going to bring in Muzi.
Okay. I want to show you fishing pond. How something gets the fishing pond.
Okay.
And so I look at this quote, and so this is a quote. That is a quote and a lead as it comes in and the broker sees it and he can manage it. He can do different things. The view, it's not as lined up because it's large.
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah.
But so you can change different things. I could change the operating. So I'm talking to this guy and I find out that it's in up. Now it's in up and I need to change the price, and I go to, so the price right here is $8.55 and it's in up, and I need to auto quote the price, and boom, there it is. Now, if I want to email the customer, I can just email the customer the quote.
This is insane.
And there it goes off. It's now quoted, and it's now an in op, and he has the new price, and he can do the order. If I'm like, well, I'm talking to this guy and he won't give me the order quite yet, and he wants me, he already has it posted with 2 other brokers,
right.
And it's on Central.
Let's triple list
3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't have to create an order to get in front of carriers, which is the beautiful thing.
Right. This is not a workaround. Let's do it for real.
It's above board. Everybody knows what it is. Yeah. So I'm going to send. I'm the broker, and I want to send this to the fishing pond, and I'm going to do that, and I'm going to let people see what it is. And so this is Covington, Kentucky to Valdosta, Georgia. So if I go to Dispatch Center, and I go to the fishing pond, and I look at loads today, and Covington, Kentucky to Valdosta, Georgia is right there. And so now it's in front of the carrier. So I can search, so let's go fishing. I can do different things. So on the hook, so if I request this, and
Awesome.
I'm going to just do it at that price.
Not
just
once
so
have
you
we
can
picked,
see
we
it.
haven't even thought about going to the phone. There's no need to go to the phone.
You don't need the phone.
You don't need the phone.
No. So I'm going to send it, and now, oh, I'm sorry about that. Hope that didn't hurt anybody's ears.
That was awesome.
So that we need to perfect that, but that's a spinning the fishing
That was
reel.
cool, man.
Like, vroom. So
awesome.
it's now. I was in the fishing pond.
I love it.
I was in the fishing pond, and now it's on the hook. So for me, I'm the carrier now. It's on the hook. It's up to the broker. The broker can do what he wants. And so if I look at the broker and how he sees it, it's in his dispatch center.
He's sitting in a dance recital. Again, he's fishing. He's sitting at a dance recital. He just posted to the fishing pond, and there's already a bite.
So
right?
Exactly. It is.
Yeah.
So this is a quote. See, this is a quote in the background. I need, as the broker, now to convert this to an order.
Wow.
If I know I can convert it to an order, I can do that. If I need to call the customer, hey, I've got a carrier. He's given me an estimated pickup, an estimated delivery. Does it fit your schedule? And if it does, I'll convert it and I'll make it into an order.
Welcome to the show, Moozy. I'm Jay, your host. We're here with Mark from Superflow Dispatch Center, and now we have Moozy from Truckify. Moozy, will you please say hello to the folks?
Hey, what's up, my car hauling family? And the hardest part about this industry is to actually find the best loads. And you can see all the loads on Central Dispatch there. Sometimes you cannot even communicate with the brokers. They don't answer the phone calls. It's a dealership. You cannot get hold of who the dispatcher is. So there's a lot of problems. You can see all the good paying loads, but sometimes you cannot get to them. So that's exactly the problem that I solved with Truckify, with the technology that I'm about to show you guys now. So now as a carrier, you can see that I'm searching for a load from Iowa to Indianapolis. Guess what? Boom. This load here pops up and I want to book this load, okay?
Okay.
We built this extension here, Jay, that automatically puts
this. Okay, you've got these extensions that you've created.
Uh-huh. So now when you copy, when the carrier copies this URL and they just paste it here on
So now, okay, this link. Okay, I want to say this because this is something when you were just showing me this earlier today, and this is wild. This link is something that can be posted in the information of a load on a load board, and you can click on it, copy and paste it into a browser, and this screen launches.
Exactly.
Where's the link? It's truckify.com /Z / what 6071.
Yep, you can type it out, really.
Yeah, I'm going to type it out. Anybody could, right?
Yep.
Like, how about this? Here's a crazy idea. Anybody at a web browser, on your phone, on a laptop, if you're at the library, type in truckify.com /Z / 6071.
When the driver picks up that load, there's a URL that's generated right here. See, to track this load via GPS, click right here. And that load from Davenport to Indiana, you can actually start tracking the driver. This is just that load. That's just that one car. Even if you have one car, you can just track just your one car. You see what I'm saying? So you can see where the driver is right there.
You're showing a load on Central, and in the reference ID, how did you create that link?
Well, that's the technology that we built on there. That's where we show that our prowess there that we can
Right,
build
it's
stuff.
secret recipe. Okay, so you got your secret recipe generated a link, and anybody can plug that into any browser, and it takes you to your platform to the load.
Exactly. And guess what?
That's
As
crazy.
soon as, as soon as you book that load, Jay, do you remember the other one was paying $700? Do you see that it's no longer there on Central Dispatch anymore? As soon as you book that load, it removes it instantly from Central Dispatch too.
Now that's kind of crazy.
Yep. And you know that a lot of other brokers post loads on Central Dispatch, and you call, you see the loads, and they'll tell you, oh, the load has already been booked, but the loads has been sitting on Central Dispatch maybe for hours or even a day or two. You can make an offer, say you want $90 and you want to submit for just, you know, so it will start counting down, and then it start counting down. See, the time is counting down there. And if you want to just book it instantly, you can just book it right instantly. After you choose your dates here, if you like your dates and stuff. You see, it has a VIN number too on here, Jay. It has a vehicle information right there. So
Nice.
that what load you're booking. And it tells it's from Davenport to Indianapolis, and it shows you how much it's paying to right there. So if you feel like, hey, you see somebody with the time running and you're like, wow, I'm gonna miss this load, so you can just book it right now for $50 and lose the $20. Boom. And then as soon as you book it, you can see it goes directly um, to the driver here and assigns it to the driver. See, it's instant. It just assigns it directly to the driver, and you don't have to finagle and do anything else. And then, you can easily just track the vehicle now. This is awesome because this is how the loadification works. So this is powered by our load board, dispatch center. So Truckify is connected to dispatch center load board, which feeds the app with the loads, and these loads come to the drivers while the drivers are just moving, because drivers spend a lot of time at the truck stop there to park and start looking for loads and stuff like that. So we develop a system where the loads instead they come to the drivers, which is similar to that ride sharing app we're talking about, Jay, where we use technology to now bring the loads to the drivers instead of the drivers sifting and wasting time looking for the loads. Once I have the origin and the destination, I can click on find loads, okay? And you see the loads will pop up right there. See? So that's Truckify app communicating with dispatch center load board to actually bring the loads from dispatch center to the driver app. And then the driver can request the load, and they can put the date they want to pick it up there, and the date they want to deliver the load. Okay. And then if they want to counter offer, say they want this load is paying 750. Say maybe they want a 670, and the carrier wants 750, so they can submit a request right there. You see that, Jay? And then on top there it says request submitted. And then so the broker is going to communicate to the carrier whether they like that 750 offer or not. What everybody usually does is now I have to sift through all these 360 results, and try and search for the best load for the driver. This takes a lot of time.
Oh, let me tell you.
It takes a lot of time. So with this, you just copy,
Control A,
Control A,
Control C,
yep, and then come right here and just
Control
paste
V.
it. Yep, exactly. And then you put choose your driver here, and the capacity is 3 vehicles, and then
And this
say,
part's important. The reason you want to enter the driver's origin and the driver's destination is because the results will match what the
yeah,
driver wants, right?
exactly. Say the driver is leaving from Ashburn, Virginia, because we chose quite and then say going to St. Louis, Missouri. okay, and then discover the routes. So within just, a second, it's going to just bring three exact
A
vehicles.
lot faster than I could do it.
See, it already brings the three, and then now you can play around with adjust
Right.
the
I mean,
from the
you don't just
say,
you don't just click book the whole trip, but this
yeah,
gives you a way of insight into separation of loads,
exactly.
route.
So now you can see that this is within 100 miles from right here. The driver is right here in Ashburn. So you see, these loads ain't too far because these are within 100 miles for a three-car hauler. And, it shows you how to pick them up, pick this one first, pick this one, and then you're out. And then how to deliver them when you get down in Missouri.
It's crazy.
See, the driver's in St. Louis, drop this one first, drop this one, and then drop that one. And then see, it already tells you the three vehicles here will be paying about $1,800 total. And, it just goes, it's descending as the rates go down.
I
So it brought like 10 routes. So you can actually even
It's
come here and
crazy.
you see that, and then you can choose.
Like there's no way I couldn't even I couldn't even have done all this work in
I mean, look at how much this data
you
is
got
here. That's
yeah,
yeah,
dude, it's 380 loads
yeah,
and in 5 seconds or less your program
yep,
came up with 10 different
yep,
options
yep.
with
And guess what?
the order of pickup and order of delivery. That's insane.
And then this is a cool part. If you don't like St. Louis, say you want to say Minneapolis,
It's crazy.
you just change the city, and then just click here, and then it's going to reroute you because Minneapolis was part of that. Look at that. So it's going to now find vehicles that are going from. Look at that. See, it instantly chooses the three vehicles and then shows them how to drop them off to in Minneapolis area. Look at that. See,
That's
so it kind of
crazy.
gives you like a starting point, you know. And if you don't want to leave from Ashburn, Virginia, you can even choose and say, hey, now I want to leave from maybe Virginia Beach.
Thank you guys.
Support at dispatchcenter.com. Anybody has anything additional, we'll help them.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much. Talk
Good
to you
night.
soon.
Run the car carrier.
All right. Peace, guys.
All right. Good night.
All right.
Good night.
Bye.